Je souhaite passer la parole maintenant à Monsieur Roudi Baroudi, CEO de Energy and Environment Holding Qatar. Monsieur Baroudi bénéficie d'une trentaine d'années d'expérience dans l'énergie, en même temps au sein de différents gouvernements libanais et du Moyen-Orient, ainsi que dans le secteur privé, où il a participé à différents projets dans le gaz, la pétrochimie et l'électricité surtout. Il a participé activement à l'établissement de la zone Euromed, Energy Free Trade Zone, depuis 1995, lors des négociations de Barcelone et de Trieste. Il est également membre fondateur dans l'établissement de Rome Euro-Mediterranean Energy Platform. Roudi nous parlera des options et des stratégies d'exportation pour Chypre, l'Europe, la Turquie et l'Asie. Roudi, la parole est à toi.
Mr. Sabah, thank you very much for the introduction. And first of all, I would like to thank the organizer for the beautiful setup here. I want to thank Mr. Lienhardt to have at least tackled the joint cooperation for the region, which makes sense when it comes to economy of scale. Okay. First of all, we can agree, all of us, that Lebanon forms a sizable part of the Levantine energy wealth. It also sits in a complex and challenging geopolitical landscape. Fortunately, its valuable natural resources could become, and this is could become, Lebanon's social and economical pillar for a viable long-term growth and prosperity. Let me skip the first one to come to this one. This geographical slide here that shows that despite unresolved political disputes within the zone, whether it's in the south, in the north, in the east, we can notice the available economical potential interest of the East Med that are quite sizable. Looking at the east, first we have Syria that is next to us with the proven 2.5 billion barrels of oil as reserves, and they have an estimate of 8.5 trillion cubic feet of proven reserves. Further east, between the potential and proven, according to the IEA, Iraq holds almost 214 barrel of oil billion and 325 trillion cubic feet of gas. In the south, Israel holds around 1.7 billion barrels of oil and 33 trillion cubic feet of gas. Cyprus is between an estimate and proven of 5 to 9 trillion cubic feet of gas. Gaza is around 0.9 trillion cubic feet. Egypt has between proven and potential around 3.7 billion barrels of oil and 66 trillion cubic feet of gas. And Lebanon, according to the ministry officials last year, they have estimated that we have 30 trillion cubic feet of gas, 660 million barrels of oil only offshore. This without taking into consideration what Mr. Hollis has promised to unleash on Wednesday. Our session tackles export options and strategies. Everywhere you have projects planned and proposed. All of what we can see in this slide is, and in this conflicted political region, all of these projects that you see, north, east, west, and south, they need mediation and intensive diplomatic efforts for the realization of these economical needed projects. Now, if you can see on the far left, sorry, on this one. These are two LNG plants that are being underutilized. So now, as Mr. Cassini said, since Egypt needs now some gas for the next 3 to 4 years, they are going to plan to build a pipeline now, 186 kilometer line from Block 12 down to the south coast. The Arab gas pipeline for the time being is almost dead due to the unfortunate political and war developments that they have there. So all what we need for an export, whether it is a pipeline or an LNG or an FLNG, they are all viable solution for us, especially for the Levantine offshore developments. Even somebody is trying to promote the CNG, which is the compressed natural gas. Our immediate option for export, in my view, is Cyprus. Why is Cyprus? Is that it is almost at 100 nautical miles from our coast. Cyprus presents to us, it is Europe. We don't have, once we connect there, we are almost connected to the southern corridor, which you will probably see in the slide 17. We don't have to pay no more any tolling fees. We don't have to go through transits. And Cyprus is already part of the EU, and they have already signed all of the prerequisites and being part of the jurisdiction that will control third-party access to any user. Cyprus has all of the ports that are already established, the authorities they are there, the jurisdiction they are there. This is in case we are talking about if we have an option to pipe our gas after using our own needs, whether we send it by pipeline there and then hook it to a European line, or joining, like Mr. Lienhardt said, the LNG facilities where it is being planned in Vasilikos, where we can take 1 or 2 or 3 trains if we need them there. If we look at the analysis of the geopolitical and socio-economical development there, it could be very advantageous that we can join the capital cost to join there. Vasilikos has already the Cyprus government plans, and it is in perfect line with the EU strategic objective of independence from specific sources and routes of energy supply. The LNG has been already the primary option for the Cypriot government for the gas reserves, and Cyprus has excellent relations with Egypt, Israel, Palestine, and Lebanon. I will go to the Vasilikos site. If Lebanon can consider this one of the options, we will be dealing with the full member of the EU. The political decision of establishment of the LNG is already there, so we can take advantage of 2 to 3 years delay if we want to go in a different route. We are located also at the crossroad of major international transport routes, and we will have the added benefits for political dialogue and peace. The next slides, since we are talking about export options, whether we go through pipe or we go through an LNG, we have the first option to go through pipe. The second one is that we have a very near huge market that is Turkey, which in between the northern part and port of Ceyhan, we are talking about 110 miles, which is not much. This potential platform is for regional reconciliation and stability and will definitely bring regional prosperity. If we go west to Crete and then Santa Focia, we can also be next door with 1,000-mile, reaching Santa Focia, which is the Italian gas grid. Now, this is still 1/4 of the distance between bringing gas from Azerbaijan to Europe. And this we will be skipping, passing, tolling free, and different countries that are not within the EU. And on the north here, there is also the pre-planned, all of the gas for the Bulgarian gas grid. They are also under design and planning stage. For Europe diversification, if the Greek bids for the ENP comes on stream next year, this will bring additional Greek oil and gas to the same European East Med pipeline, which will contribute to almost 20% of Europe total natural gas consumption, which is estimated now at around 650 billion cubic meter, which is, I believe, the second largest gas market in the world. These are just for the sake of some geologists. This is the bidding grounds in the north and south and central Ionian Sea. The other option is, as we said, Turkey is by far the largest gas transit hub within the zone. If political tensions eases off and there would be an improvement in relation between Cyprus and Turkey, this possibility, which will have, I don't know why it's not, this possibility will definitely offer a strategic value for East Mediterranean exports, and it will provide an option for the lowest capital investment for any export option for all of the East Med. We are talking about 110 kilometer line, which does not really cost much, and this will be additional capacity to, to the Turkish Gazprom deal that has been signed last year, which will bring from Gazprom at a 10% discount, 63 billion cubic meter divided into 4 pipelines to bring to Europe, 47 of which are going to be destined to go to Europe. The Cyprus hub would bypass disputes between Russia and Ukraine that have slowed down and even threatened to hold gas almost 3 times, in 2006, 2009, and 2014. Recently, 2 years ago, the EU has launched a study for the Southern Corridor enlargement, and we could have a possibility to join in. Having said that, all of this is good, like Dr. Saidi said. Okay, we have the wealth, we have the resources, we have this, but all of this, to reach there, we need to have a lot of prerequisites. And in order for us to take advantage of this complex and competitive energy environment, we have a lot of prerequisites that we have to hollow. One is to achieve and abide by a national political consensus that outlines how Lebanon will effectively and responsibly exploit its oil and gas reserves according to the rule of law for the benefit of all of its people and promote national reconciliation. We have also to finalize hydrocarbon law, ratify the onshore exploration and production laws that Mr. Mnassa has referred to first thing this morning. We resolve any territorial disputes regarding maritime boundaries through diplomacy and keep the warships at their ports through the United Nations and the joint development field with Cyprus, like Mr. Leonhard has said, and then to strengthen the Lebanese Petroleum Administration with more executive power and not like Mr. Jawad said, to take from them power. We need to give them more power to get more things done. And study experience. And then we have to prove that promise of encouraging geopolitical strategies by doing more exploratory drills onshore and offshore. Thank you.
Roudi Baroudi, merci pour cette très belle présentation, très intéressante, qui était très claire, donc pas la peine de recommandations.